Hello and welcome to this new video, and in this video I have a tutorial for you in which I'm going to show you step by step how to make this beautiful Pansy Pizza mandala designed by Dedri Uys. She gave me the permission to film this tutorial for you guys, so I really hope you're going to enjoy this beautiful pattern designed by Dedri. If you don't want to make the Pansy Pizza into a mandala, you also have the option to make it into a bunting, which you can see here in the back of me, behind. So yeah, grab your yarn, grab your crochet hook, grab all the things you need, and let's get started by making this beautiful Pansy Pizza mandala. You need a color pack of scheepjes Soft Fun. And I'm using the rainbow, and that's also the same color pack that Dedri used for her Pansy Pizza mandala. I'm also going to show you in this video how to turn your triangles into a bunting, and I made my bunting with the pastel version of the color pack of scheepjes Soft Fun, and with that color pack I was able to make 12 triangles, and even after that I had more than enough yarn left. And if you're using a color pack for the mandala, there's more than enough yarn in the color pack, so don't worry that you run out of yarn. This is the only thing you need to make a mandala, or if you want to make the bunting with 12 triangles. Well, the written instruction on Dedri's website, and the link to her website is here underneath this video in the description box. So take a look over there if you want a written pattern, all made by Dedri. And also for the mandala, you have to use a ring. Dedri used a ring of 40 centimeters, but she's a very tight crocheter. I used a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, just like Dedri did, but my ring 40 was too small, so I have to use a 50 centimeters ring to fit my mandala in. Probably 45 centimeters could also work, but I don't have that, so I'm using a 50 centimeter. Also, a pair of scissors, your crochet hook of course, and a darning needle to work away your yarn tails. That is all we need to make the Pansy Pizza mandala, and I'm gonna show you step by step how to make the triangles and how to make the mandala. But if you don't want to make the mandala, just follow all the instructions. And in the description box down below I place timestamps, because when you're finished making the triangles you can skip the whole mandala part and go right ahead to the bunting explanation, because that's also part of this video. Before we really starting crocheting, just a small explanation for the Pansy, because we're going to crochet 6 of these pansies, and I am not telling you what color you're going to use. I just say color change and then show you the next step of creating these pansies. On Dedri's website, in the written instructions, you can also find a layout, a color chart, in which you can see how the colors are placed in all the different pansies, because we make 6 different pansies and every pansy has its own color placement. So make sure you have the color chart also with you, so that you can see which pansy has which color. And as you can see, the pansy exists from a color heart, and then for row 2 we're making that in 2 separate parts. First we create the small petals, and then we create the bigger petals, the large petals, and in row 3 we're just gonna make border around the large petals. That's how the pansy has been constructed by Dedri. So make sure that you have the color chart with you to see where to use which color, and if you have that, then you're ready to create this pansy, and that's the first step that I'm going to show you. We start with a magic loop. I'm always making a magic loop like this. The yarn tail is in my fingers. I wrap the yarn around my fingers and cross it on top. With my crochet hook, go underneath, grab the yarn and chain 1. And then I can take my fingers out and I have made my magic loop. There are lots of ways to make this magic loop, so do it as you please. And then start with a chain 3. First one has been made, so another 2 chains for starting chain 3, and in the ring make a double crochet. Now you have a group of 2 doubles, because the starting chain is counting as a starting double crochet, and you have made a new one. So 2 double crochets next to each other is one group, and we're going to create 5 of these groups, and in between those groups we have a chain 3. So that's the next what we're going to do. Chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then in the loop make 2 double crochets. 1 and 2, followed by chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and again 2 double crochets in the ring. 1 and 2, chain 3, and in the ring again 2 double crochets. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 2 doubles. So just make 1, but first chain 3, 1, 2, 3, in the ring 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2 double crochets. So now we can close our magic loop by pulling on the yarn tail like this. Okay. Now chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and with a slip knot or a slip stitch we're going to close this round on top of our chain 3 that we used for the beginning in this row. So at the top, insert and make a slip stitch like that. I always make a chain then, and then cut the yarn, pull it through, and then work away your yarn tail here at the back of your work. I'm leaving this yarn tail as it is because I'm gonna work that away by crocheting over it for the next row. New color of yarn on my hook, and we're going to start with a standing single crochet on or between a group of the double crochets. It doesn't matter which one you pick. If you just have 2 of those double crochets, then insert your hook between those 2. So you have the yarn on your hook, grab the yarn behind and make the single crochet like this. Okay, now we're going to create 3 small petals of the pansy, and we're going to make those petals in the chain spaces, and between every petal we're making a single crochet between those 2 double crochets of round 1. So the yarn tail from the previous round is going to the back of my work so that I can work over it, and the small petal is created like this. In the chain space, make a half double crochet, then followed by a double crochet, then 4 triple crochets, so yarn over twice before making your stitch, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. That's a triple. We're doing that 4 times. So this was the first, and this is going to be number 2, 3, and 4. And just to create space, pull your stitches aside, because there are going to be a lot of stitches in those chain spaces. So this is the 4th triple crochet. Then make a double crochet in the chain space, followed by a half double crochet. And then your first petal has been made. Between those 2 double crochets from the previous round, we make a single crochet. And then repeat in this chain space the same thing like we did here to create the second petal. So half double, followed by a double, 4 times a triple crochet, triple, so yarn over twice. This is 1, 2, 3, and number 4. Then in the same chain space, a double crochet and a half double crochet, and then your second petal has been made. Now repeat it again. So in between those 2 doubles make a single crochet, and then in this chain space, the next chain space, make another petal. When you also made the 3rd petal, then between the doubles from the previous round we're going to make a single crochet, but we're also using that single crochet to make a color change. So my next color is here already lying on the table. I'm just going to insert my hook between those 2 double crochets from the previous row, and pull up loop. So I've got 2 loops on my hook, and then I cut my yarn and grabbing my new yarn, my new color, place it on my hook and pull it through the 2 loops that were standing on my hook. And then I've made my color change. And now I'm ready to start row 2B. We're making the large petals, 2 of them, in the next 2 chain spaces. Okay, and again I'm working over my yarn tail, so I'm laying them behind my work. In the chain space I have double, then a double crochet, two treble crochets, so yarn over twice, one and 2, then make 3 double treble crochets, so to make them yarn over 3 times, and just repeat it as we do the whole time. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. That's the first double treble. We'll do that 3 times. This was 1, and 2, and this is going to be number 3. Then 2 trebles, 1 and 2, followed by a double crochet and a half double crochet. Then your first large petal has been made. Then again, between the 2 doubles from the previous round, a single crochet like that, and in this last chain space we make another large petal. In the next chain space a half double, followed by a double, 2 trebles, 1 and 2, then 3 double trebles, this is 1, 2 and 3, 2 trebles, and this is the second one, followed by a double crochet, and a half double crochet. Alrighty, okay, now make a slip knot in the first stitch and cut your yarn and go to your next color, place it on your hook and pull through. Work away all your yarn tails and you're ready to go for round 3. Therefore, we are going to turn our work, and in this round we're just working at the back of the large petals. You really have to count your stitches because you can easily forget one stitch here, and this is just a short round. We're just working on those large petals, and you have to make 23 single crochets, and between those single crochets are 22 chain spaces. The first stitch here looks like you have to work in, but you just skip that because that's the slip stitch and the color chain. So in the first double crochet, make your first single crochet like this. Chain 2, 1 and 2, and then in the next stitch a single crochet, followed by a chain 2, and then in the next a single crochet. And that's all you do in this third round. So just count your stitches. So you've got 23 single crochets, and between those single crochets you have to chain 2 spaces, and that should be 22 of them. Make sure when you're here in the middle to pull your work so that you see all your stitches and don't accidentally skip one of them. So chain 2, and in the next stitch a single crochet. Repeat that over all the stitches here around your large petals. The last one should be in here. So chain 2, and here in your last stitch make single crochet 23. When you made that last single crochet, then also slip stitch in the same stitch, like this, pulling it tight. Just chain 1, cut your yarn and pull through. Okay, now work away all your yarn tails, and then your Pansy is done. And you see in the color chart in the written instructions from Dedri how you make 6 different pansies. So create all your pansies now, 6 in total in different color arrangements. And when you are done making all your pansies, then it's time to start making them into a triangle, and that's the next part that I'm gonna show you. Got a new color yarn on my hook, and we're starting this row with a standing single crochet made in the second chain space on your large petal. So make sure you look at the front of your work. The good side is in front of you, and then here you see your first and here your second chain space, and in the second chain space make your standing single crochet, just like this. Okay, then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next 2 chain spaces, so 1, 2, and in the third one we're going to make a bubble stitch. So yarn over, insert in the chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And now you've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert in the same chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, insert in the same chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on your hook, and you made the bubble stitch. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in that same chain space where your first bubble stitch is in, you make another bubble. So in the same chain space, make a new bubble stitch. Okay, like this. And this is your first corner of this triangle. See, here you've got your corner. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Skip the next chain space and in the next make a a single crochet. So chain 5, skip a chain space and in the next your single crochet. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now look and count closely, because we have to skip 8 chain spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the next one make a single crochet. See? So you're skipping the whole lower part of your pansy. Just like that. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And skip the next chain space and in the next make another corner. So in the chain space make a bubble, just like that. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in the same chain space make another bubble. Okay, then your second corner has been made. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next 2 chain spaces, so 1, 2, and in the next one make a single crochet. And if you do this correctly, you've got 1 chain space left. If you got 2 or none, then you probably made some mistake in this area. So just take a close look, find your mistake, take your yarn out and just start over again to make sure that you just end like this, that you just have 1 chain space left. Okay, we're going to continue making chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll jump over to the small petal and we're going to make a single crochet in the 5th stitch of this small petal. So here between is the single crochet, we skip that one, and here's your first stitch of the petal, and just count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the 5th stitch make a single crochet. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, jump over to the next petal, and again in the 5th stitch we're going to crochet, and in the 5th stitch we're creating a new corner. So search your 5th stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, insert in there and make your corner by making a bubble. Oh, don't split the yarn. So this is the first bubble. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in that same stitch make another bubble. Just like that. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jump over to the next petal. Look for the 4th stitch. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the 4th stitch make a single crochet. Then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and make a slip knot in your standing single crochet to end this round. So a slip knot in your standing single crochet, and then cut your yarn, pull through, and round 4 has been made. New color on my hook, and we're going to start with a standing half double crochet in any chain 6 corner space. I'm gonna pick that one. So in the chain 6 corner space make a standing half double crochet. So you have the new yarn on your hook, yarn over, hold it with your index finger, insert your hook in that chain space and pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. And now you have made your standing half double crochet. In this corner space we're making a new corner. So we've made our standing half double, and in the same chain space make a half double. Followed by a double crochet and a triple. Then chain 2, 1, 2, and in that same corner space make a treble, a double crochet, and 2 half double crochets in the same chain space, 1 and 2. Then your new corner has been made. Okay, then around the next stitch, which is the bubble, make a front post double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook in that chain space, go behind that stitch and come forward in the next chain space, so that this stitch is laying on your crochet hook. Yarn over, pull back and make your double crochet. Now you made a front post double crochet. In the next chain space, make 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then around the next stitch from the previous row, make a front post double crochet. And in the next chain space, 5 half doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Around the next stitch, a front post double crochet. And again, in the next chain space, 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then around the next stitch, which is the bubble, make a front post double crochet. And now you're at the corner space, so make a new corner in there by making 2 half doubles. 1, 2, followed by a double crochet and a triple crochet. Then chain 2, a triple in the same space, a double and 2 half doubles. And that's what you're going to repeat all around for this round. So around every stitch from the previous row you make a front post double crochet, and in the chain spaces you make 5 half double crochets, and then create a new corner up here and repeat the same thing around this side too. When you're all around, just finish with a front post double crochet around the last stitch and make a slip stitch in your standing half double crochet. Then you're finished the round, so you can cut the yarn, pull through, work away your yarn tails, and then you're ready for round 6. New color yarn on my hook, and we're starting with a standing double crochet in any corner space. I'm going to use this corner. So for a standing double crochet, you have your yarn on your hook and make yarn over, hold it with your index finger, insert in the corner space, pull up a loop. Now you've got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then your standing double crochet has been made. Then make in the same chain space a triple, and then chain 2, followed by another triple in the same chain space, and a double in the chain space. Now you created a new corner. Okay, then over the next 5 stitches make a half double crochet, and the 5th half double crochet should fall in this front post double crochet from the previous round. So over the next 5 stitches a half double, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and my 5th half double crochet falls in the front post double from the previous round. Then over the next 17 stitches we're gonna make 17 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 16 and 17. Then over the next 5 stitches make a half double crochet, and the first half double crochet should fall in that front post double crochet from the previous round. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then you're back in the corner space. In that chain space make a double crochet, a triple, followed by a chain 2, a triple and a double, all in that corner space to create your new corner. And then repeat all the steps that we're doing on this side. So over the next 5 stitches a half double crochet, the 5th one should fall in your front post double crochet from the previous round, then 17 single crochets, and in the last 5 stitches make 5 half double crochet, and the first half double crochet should fall in your last front post double crochet. Then create a new corner by making a double, triple, chain 2, triple, double in that corner space, and repeat the same over this side. When you're all the way around, then end your round with a slip stitch on your standing double crochet and cut your yarn and work away all your yarn tails. And then you can just stretch it a little bit with your fingers to get it in shape. And because I've been working over my yarn tails, I just can cut them at the back, just like that. And now I only have to work away this tail and then I'm done. So your triangle is now made, and you're making for the mandala 6 triangles. This is the point where you decide, do I want to make the mandala or do I want to make the bunting? If you want to make the mandala, then I'll take you now step by step through the next instructions for making the mandala. If you have something like, okay, I don't want to make the mandala because I don't have a ring, I want to make the bunting, you can make 12 triangles from a color pack. The joining part for the bunting is at the end of this video, and in the description box down below you can find all the handy timestamps. So if you want to make the bunting, click on the timestamp for the part that I'm showing you how to create the bunting for joining your triangles. If you want to make the mandala, just stick with me, because in the next part of this video I'm showing you how to join your triangles for making the mandala and the next rows for that. When you made all your triangles, it's time to join them, and we're gonna join them in the back. So you don't see the joining line in front, it's all in the back, but we're just gonna keep them on the table like this. Make sure if you have your triangle like this that the 3 small leaves are pointing inwards of this hexagon. So all the 3 leaves are pointing to the middle. Then you put them on the right place, and we're going to join our triangles with the same color yarn as that we used in the last round around your triangles. So it's the same color yarn. But to show you how to join, I'm using a different color yarn. So don't be fooled by that you see, hey, you're using another color. That's only because I want to show you to do the joining in the back. So place your yarn on your hook with a slip knot, and then we're going to join our triangles, and we're doing that by flipping them over on each other. So I'm taking this triangle and we're going to join these sides together. So what I'm doing now is flip this triangle over this one, so it's lying on top of the other one, and I'm looking at the back of the triangle now. This is the inside, the middle, this is the outside, so that's the top, the outside border of the hexagon. So we're joining in the chain 2 space here in the top, and we're not joining only in this one, but we're joining in both of them. So we're joining them by making a single crochet to both chain spaces. So insert your hook in both chain spaces and make a standing single crochet just like this. Then through both triangles, each and every stitch we're going to make are made through both layers, so through both triangles. In the next stitch we're making a single crochet, so the next stitch is in the front and in the back triangle, and that's a single crochet also. Okay, now we're making single crochets and chains. So now we're first going to make a chain, skip the next stitch, and in the next make a single crochet. So also in the back, skip 1 stitch, which is this one, and in the next on the hook. So we got both layers on the hook and make a single crochet through both layers, and that's the repeat for the whole side. So chain 1, skip the next, and in the next stitch a single crochet. Just like I said, every stitch is made through both layers. So chain 1, skip the next, and in the next we're making the single crochet, so also the back, skip that stitch, and in this stitch insert your hook, so you've got both layers on your hook, and make the single crochet, and then it looks like this. So now chain one, skip one, and in the next we're making a single crochet, chain one, skip one, and in the next, in front and back, skip, next on the hook, make a single crochet followed by a chain, and repeat that for the whole joining part. And when you're almost at the end, you should have 2 stitches left in the front and 2 stitches left in the back before this corner chain 2 space. Well, then just chain 1, skip 1, and in the last stitch before the chain space, make your last single crochet, and again through both layers like that. And now also in the chain space a single crochet, and that's a single crochet without the chain. We were doing here the chain all in between. We're not making any chains anymore, just a single crochet in the last stitch, and in the chain space also a single crochet. And I'm always making then a chain and then cut my yarn, and then your first triangles are joined, and if you flip them open you see they are joined. And I can also show you now, because I used a different color, you see the small legs of that stitch through the fabric, so that's why you use the same color as that you used for the last round around the triangles. Okay, well, these are the first 2 that are joined, and you're going to join every triangle together all around. So this is the next joining line, and after that you can join this line and then that line and that line, and then you've got one line left in here, and you just flip the whole thing over so it's folded in half, and then you made the join in the last sides, and then your whole hexagon has been joined. And the next step then is to join also all the chain spaces here in the middle. We're just going to do a little trick to join it up there also, and that's the next step I'm going to show you. When you join all your triangles together, your work should look like this. I also worked away all the yarn tails, so now we're ready to close the gap here in the middle. We're going to do that by making in each and every chain space a double crochet, starting with a standing double crochet, and then in each and every chain space we're making a double crochet. So we have 6 in total, and we're doing that with the same color as that we used for the last round of the triangles and for joining the triangles together. That same color we're using for closing this gap, but I'm using a different color now to show you what I'm doing. And we're going to work on the right side of our work, so the right side is facing towards us. I'm just gonna fold my work in 2 because that makes it a little bit easier to work. And here you can see 1, 2 and 3 chain spaces, and on the other sides are 1, 2, 3 chain spaces also. Well, We're going to start with a standing double crochet. So I've got slip knot on my hook and a yarn over, and in any chain space we're making our standing double crochet, just like this. Okay, and then go to the next chain space, which is here, and also in there a double crochet. Jump over to the next chain space and a double crochet in there, which makes number 3, and we need 6, so jump over to the next double crochet in that chain space, which makes 4. Jump over to the next chain space, which is number 5, double crochet in there, and also in the last one, number 6, a double crochet. And then we're flipping this starting yarn tail into the back, and we're making a slip stitch in our first standing double crochet, and I'm holding the beginning yarn tail to make it tight, so it's easier to make the slip stitch in your first double crochet. Chain 1, and then cut your yarn and bring your yarn tails into the back, and then work away your yarn tails. And then also this gap in the middle has been closed. We're going to join and crochet also on our joining line. The stitches of our joining line are in the back, but if you look closely between those two chain spaces, you can see here a horizontal bar, and that's the leg of the stitch that joins them together in the back. So that's the leg of the single crochet, and just insert your hook underneath the bar to crochet in the joining line also. In that horizontal bar, make a standing half double crochet, and in that same stitch also a half double crochet, so 2 half double crochets on top of the joining line. And that second half double crochet you're gonna mark with a stitch marker. So in that second half double crochet you put your stitch marker. Then we start with the pattern repeat also. I'm going to do that twice with you. Every pattern repeat consists 1 triangle side. I'm gonna do 2 with you. So in the chain space a single crochet, then over the next 6 stitches a single crochet, so 6 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, followed by 5 half double crochets over the next 5 stitches, so 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then in the next stitch we make an increase, which means that the next stitch will get 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. So 2 double crochets in that next stitch. Then 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Then you're at the chain space. In there make a single crochet. And that's the pattern repeat. So do that one more time with me, and then for the next 4 triangle spaces you can do it yourself. Look over for the horizontal bar and crochet in there for 2 half double crochets. So 1 and 2 half double crochets. In the next chain space a single crochet. Then over the next 6 stitches a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, followed by 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4. In the next stitch an increase, so make 2 double crochets in that same stitch or in that next stitch. 1 and 2, so 2 double crochets in one stitch. Then 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4, followed by 5 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and in the chain space a single crochet. Well, do that all around. I'm doing that off camera, and when I'm done I am going to join with a slip stitch on the standing half double crochet where we began this round with. So a slip stitch in your standing half double crochet, fasten off, work away yarn tails, and I see you back in round 8. With a new color on your hook, we're going to start with a standing double crochet in the marked stitch. So where your stitch marker is, in that stitch you're gonna make standing double crochet. I'll take the stitch marker out, and in that same stitch we're making also a double crochet. And that second double crochet is going to be our new marked stitch. So place your stitch marker in that second double crochet. Well, in this round we're only crocheting double crochets all around, and we're going to do that in groups of 17 double crochet, and after those 17 double crochets we'll do an increase, so which means in the next stitch that you make 2 double crochets. So 17 double crochets now. 1, 2, 3, 16 and 17. So we made 17 double crochets, so that's our first group. And in the next stitch we're going to make an increase. So the next stitch is getting 2 double crochets, and as you can see, the next stitch is the increase from the previous row. The previous round we've made 2 double crochets in that single crochet here, and in that second double crochet we're placing our increase now. So that stitch is getting 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And now we're going to make a new round of a new group of 17 double crochets. So over the next 17 stitches, 17 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 16 and 17. Okay, and now it's also time for an increase, and the increase here is being placed in the second half double crochet from the previous round. As you can see, we're above the joining line, and on that we've made 2 half double crochets. 17th double crochet is in the first, and in the second we're making 2 double crochets for the increase. 1 and 2. And that's all you do this round. So make groups of 17 double crochets, and in the second half double crochet from the previous round make an increase by making 2 double crochets in there, or if you're here in the middle, in the increase we've made here with 2 doubles, in the second double crochet from the previous round make your increase by making 2 double crochets in that stitch, and in between there are 17 double crochets. So repeat that all around for this round, and end your round with a slip stitch in your standing double crochet in the beginning. Work away your yarn tails fast enough, work away your yarn tails, and we see each other in round 9. Starting with a new color on your hook and making a standing half double crochet in the marked stitch. Okay, then you can remove the stitch marker, and around that same stitch, so not in the stitch but around the stitch, we're going to make a front post double crochet. We're doing that by insert our hook between the legs of those stitches. So this is the stitch that we made our half double crochet in, and around that leg is coming the front post double crochet. So your hook inserts between the legs of those stitches, the 2 stitches, and place the leg of your stitch on your hook like this. So your hook is behind the post of the stitch, and then yarn over, pull back and make the double crochet. And now that double crochet is around the leg from the stitch from the previous row. And this front post double crochet is going to be our marked stitch. Dus replace the stitch marker in that stitch. Okay, now over the next 18 stitches we're making a back post double crochet. So it's the same like we did here, only from the back. So this is our next stitch. So we're going with our hook behind our work, and we're going to insert our hook from the back between the posts or the leg from the stitch that we just crocheted and between the next stitch that we're going to crochet over. Then push the leg behind at the back, so you can see now that your stitch is lying on your crochet hook at the back. Yarn over, pull up your loop and make the double crochet. And do that 18 times. So this was 1. Now the next one is 2, 3, 17 and 18. Now you got 18 back post double crochet, and our last stitch has been made around the first stitch of our increase from the previous row, and in the second one we're making our increase by making a half double in that stitch and make a front post double around that stitch. Like that. And that's our increase. And now also 18 back post double crochets. 1, 2, 18. Increase stitches here. The last one was a back post, and now in the second from the increase make a half double and around a front post double. And that's all you're gonna do in this round. So repeat that all around, and when you've done that, then finish this row by making a slip stitch in your standing half double crochet, which we began this round with. Cut your yarn, fasten off, work away yarn tails, and we see each other back at round 10. New yarn on my hook, and we're gonna make a slip stitch in the marked stitch. And in this round we're going to make shells. And when you made the slip stitch, you're gonna skip 2 stitches, and in that next stitch we're making a shell. And it's 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, and in that same stitch another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Skip the next 2 and in the next a slip stitch. Then your first shell has been made. And that's all we're doing in this round. So skip 2, in the next one a shell, that's 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, chain 1, and in that same stitch 3 double crochets. Then your shell has been made. Skip 2, and in the next a slip stitch. So repeat this all around, and when you're all around, then you're gonna finish with a slip stitch in the same stitch as we started. So that's the marked stitch. So in that same stitch, the marked stitch, you end with a slip stitch. Fast enough, work away all your yarn tails, and then the only thing we have to do now is attaching this mandala into a ring, and that's the next part that I'm going to show you. At this point you're gonna measure your mandala. My mandala is at this point unblocked 40 centimeters, so it's way too small to put in a 40 centimeter ring, because you wanna stretch it up, and that's why you need a bigger ring. So if your mandala also is 40 centimeters, use a 45 or 50 centimeter ring like I'm doing. Is your mandala smaller, you can also use a smaller ring, of course. Just add 5 or 10 centimeters to your measurement at this point, and then you know that's a ring that fits. Okay. For that, we're just gonna start by pre-attaching the mandala to the ring, and for that we are cutting 8 scraps of yarn from 20 centimeters. Just go to one of the shells, and we've got 3 double crochets, a chain space and 3 double crochets. That's our shell. And from the back, just insert your hook into the chain space. Put the scrap yarn on your hook and pull it through like that. Then your yarn is attached to your mandala, and now you're going to make a knot around the ring. Just like this. Don't close it exactly to the ring, because after this we're going to make use of a very long length of yarn, and we're going to wrap the needle around the mandala and the ring to attach it. So don't attach it too tight, and just tie the knot like this, so it's attached to the ring. Okay, we've got 8 of these yarn scraps, and we're going to do this in each and every 5th shell. So skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th make a new attachment to the ring. So insert your hook from back to front through the chain space, grab your yarn, pull it through so it's in the chain space, and tie a knot around the ring. Don't do it too tight, just make sure that there is still a little space between your mandala and your ring, because when we're threading the yarn in the next step, you can make sure that it's completely tightened all around. Well, do this in each and every 5th shell to make sure that your mandala has been attached to the ring, and then I'm going to be back to show you the next step. When your mandala has been attached like this to your ring, it is time to attach all of the shells into the ring. How we're going to do that? Well, you need at least 2 meters of yarn, and just like I said before, you're going to use the same yarn color as that you used for making the shells in round 10. Attach the yarn in one of the tied shells. So I'm going to use this one because that's tighter to the ring. Just get it through and tie it with, again, a knot. And you can make this one very tight if you want, because this is going to be the finishing touch to our mandala. Take the other side, the other end of your yarn, and thread that on the needle. And now we're going to tie the rest of the mandala to our ring. We're working from back to front, so our yarn is in the back. And what you're gonna do is with your needle come from the back through that chain space to the front and just pull it completely through the shell. Then place your yarn back at the side and from back to front through the next chain space, and get your yarn completely through. And when it's through, just pull on your yarn, and now you can see it's going to be tightened to the ring, and make it as tight as you want. Then place your yarn back to the side and hold the yarn closely to the ring, and from the back to the front you're going to go through the next shell and grab your yarn completely through, pull to tighten it. And that's all you're gonna do. So each and every time go from the back through the next shell, through the chain space of the next shell, and thread your yarn through it, and then just pull it tight. And that is what you're going to do all around your mandala to attach each and every shell to the ring. If you don't want a mandala, you can also choose to join them into a bunting, and that's the next step what I'm going to show you. We start with a chain of 20 or the amount that you like. If you want less, then chain 15 or 10. If you want more, go up to 25 or 30 or what you like. So make a chain of the amount of chains you want. I'm just gonna make a couple of them like this. And when you have the right amount of change, then you grab your first triangle and just make sure that your pansy here in the middle of your triangle is placed like this, with the big leaves up and the 3 smaller ones down. And we're going to join in our chain 2 space up here by making a single crochet. Then it's attached. And now we're going to make a single crochet in each and every stitch across this triangle. So in each and every stitch make a single crochet. When you are across this triangle and you've made a single crochet in each and every stitch here at the top, then make sure that you also make a single crochet in the next chain space, like this. And now you're going to make another chain in the amount of chain stitches that you want. So if you start with 20 up here in the beginning, you can also do 20 in between, but just look at it and decide for yourself how many chains you want to have in between of your triangles. If you made the amount of chains that you prefer, take your next triangle and make sure that your pansy is placed like this, and then repeat the same like we did here. So in the chain space, a single crochet, and then in each and every stitch across, a single crochet also. And that's all you need to do to turn those triangles into a festive bunting. If you attached all your triangles like this into your bunting, then finish with a chain 20 or 30 or 10. Make sure you finish with that also. Cut your yarn and your bunting is done, and you can hang it and enjoy this colorful bunting. And that was the tutorial of Pansy Pizza mandala and also for the bunting. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I am very curious about all your beautiful mandalas and buntings. Also, Dedri would love to see them all. So if you made one, make sure that you tag us in the social media. Facebook groups, Instagram, all is linked in the description box down below, and you can find there also all the useful other links for making this beautiful project, this beautiful Pansy mandala, Pansy Pizza mandala, I have to say. In the future there will be more tutorial videos of designs made by Dedri, because she gave me the permission to film them all and translate them into Dutch. So if you don't want to miss them out, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for getting messages if some of the new videos are coming online. And I would also love it if you give this video a big thumbs up, because YouTube will work for me and make sure that more people will find my channel. So you make me very happy by doing that. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and this was it. Thank you, Dedri, for giving me the permission to film this tutorial. And you guys, I really hope you enjoy making your mandalas. And yeah, let's have lots of fun, and we'll see each other in the next one. So thank you for now, and see you. Bye bye.